And good evening and welcome to another edition of the Ralph Report Wrestling Edition Smackdown Post Show. My name is Ralph Williams. I am the host of the Ralph Report Wrestling Edition Smackdown Post Show. And yeah, what do you want to talk about? Let me talk to you. All right. I am the revolutionary. I am the visionary. Acknowledge me. All right. You know, SmackDown before a pay-per-view can be very, very interesting. And the reason I say that is because it's all about this. It's been all about this for weeks now. These SmackDowns and Raws have been very boring, boring matches. Like tonight, there really wasn't. I guess they're trying to save it for tomorrow's pay-per-view, which is Night of Champions. And I will be joining you right after Night of Champions, 15 minutes after Night of Champions. I will be joining you tomorrow afternoon. It starts now. Instead of 2, they bumped it back to 1 o'clock. 1 o'clock. All right. So don't forget 1 o'clock. It'll be on ESPN, who again, thank you, Pensman. Hello. How are you? Good evening. Hope your Yankees did well tonight. And don't forget to join Pensman on his channel, on his YouTube channel. He does a lot of New York Yankees and live streams, a lot of different things. Tomorrow on the Saturday Sports Blast show tomorrow, we are focusing on the NHL draft. And I wanted to save this for later, but I'll tell you now since Pensman came on, which is a good thing. The Saturday Sports Blast show tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. with me, your revolutionary, your visionary, Ralph Williams, and Pensman Sports, Brian Pettit, and Leo Haggerty. All right. I worked on trying to get a guest on for tomorrow, but everybody was busy. So, with the draft, and also nobody was available. So I was unable to get a guest on for tomorrow. But we're going to focus on the draft. We're going to go over all the teams and what they've done, and also Leo's Tampa Bay Lightning, and so on and so forth. So Jacob says, hello, Jacob. How are you? And Pensman says, they lost 6 to, what was that? 8 to 6 or something. Yeah. Okay. There we go. Yeah. My eyesight's a little shaky a little bit tonight, but anyway, the nice thing is I have this screen here, which is great. It's a little closer to me than it is in my. We're in Studio B here at Studios 10 in Berlin, Maryland, and I want to say our show tonight is sponsored by the Shore Appliance Connection. Don't forget, go on Google, look up Shore Appliance Connection, and when you do that, when you go to Shore Appliance Connection, they have locations in Delaware and in Salisbury as well. Very good people. Ask for Bill when you call the Salisbury location. Ask for Bill, all right, at Shore Appliance Connection. And, and Bill will take very good care of you. They took very good care of me. I have a washer and dryer and I got it for a good price. They got some great sales coming up. So check it out as well. They have locations in Delaware, in Frankfurt. They also have Ocean View, and also Lewis, Delaware, and also Salisbury. But the Salisbury location, when you call there, ask for Bill, and Bill will take very good care of you as well. That's 410-749-2161, Shore Connection, Shore Appliance Connection. And they are some great people. And ask for Bill, all right, when you go in there. All right. Okay. And they're also our studio sponsor here at Studios 10. We're in Studio B tonight, B studio. All right. We have 4 studios here at Studio 10. This is Studio B. So I just want to let everyone know so as well. All right. let's get back into the SmackDown post show tonight. I'll go over all the matches, which were really much of nothing. Jacob says, hold on a minute. Let me do it this way here because this is a little easier here. Jacob said, me and my brother were going to check under my dad's truck hood and found a big a possum and scared it away. All right. It was big, says Jacob. Thank you. All right. Tonight, the SmackDown matches again. Another boring SmackDown, but it was before Night of Champions, so I'll give them a pass on tonight and on Raw this week. It was kind of boring. BFAT beat Alexa Bliss, and you know how that works. Jay Cargill interfered. Tiffany Stratton come out. They all did this. They all did that. All right, so that happened. Exium, the mask guy, went up against or no, not the mask guy, the blonde guy went up against Ray Phoenix tonight for the AAA Cruiserweight Championship. Ray won the match, of course. Ray Phoenix, good wrestler, Penta's brother, and so there you are with that. And so all right, okay. Also tonight we had Danhausen teaming up with Matt Cardona versus Garza and Carrillo, or whatever his name is there. And they had Miz and Kip Wilson on the outside of the ring, both in their little zombie trance like they were last week. You know how Danhausen is with his stuff, All right. So, All right. Let's see here. Then we have Chelsea Green versus Jade Cargill, and of course we know Jade won that match. Tiffany Stratton come out again, and here we go, and you know how that works. So, and Julia versus Kiana James. Julia got some revenge, but I got some information for you tonight in our notes. I always have our notes tonight of things that went on tonight, and one of them was Blake Monroe made her debut tonight from NXT. She won the championship down there, and now she's focusing on some wrestlers. She's focusing right now on Julia, who they have had some matches. I mean, I'm talking some really good matches done in NXT. So we'll see how that works out. All right. Trick Williams came out tonight with his bragging about his wedding, and then congratulations to him anyway. I am going to give him a congratulations tonight, despite the fact I really don't feel like it, but I will, because he got married. Marriage is supposed to be a joy, so we'll give him a marriage tonight. But then you start talking about Ricky Saints. Ricky Saints came out. They had a little going around, and now Yardy's all pissed off and angry. You know what, Yardy? Go somewhere. Get out. Please, go. Speaking of getting out. Speaking of getting out. Oh, my gosh. Speaking of getting out. Oh, yeah. Guess who got out? Yeah. The MFTs turned their back on Solo Sikoa. He has no family. He refuses to join the bloodline. He has no family. And Royce Keys got in his face tonight and said, hey, look, Jacob's coming for you. Because the tribal chief, okay, and sooner or later here in this media here, we'll talk about that later, all right? But anyway, the tribal chief wants Solo back into the family. And who knows, maybe Talatonga and Tomatonga might join in too. Can you imagine how big this bloodline would be? Roman Reigns would be champion for the next 5 years. That's if he stays, because remember, he's doing acting work now, all right? And we don't know when he'll be called for an acting job, all right? All right. So anyway, that is Roman Reigns could be called for an acting job. So how long he holds on to the title is beyond purpose. I don't know, but we'll find out how that happens, and we'll see what the WWE does with that if that does happen. Drew McIntyre, on the other hand, will not be back anytime soon. I found out recently that he is doing acting work. Good for him. I hope Sheamus retires and does acting work because he needs to. He's been losing matches. I hope AJ Styles maybe gets into some acting or becoming a. I heard he's going to be a trainer at the Performance Center right now. I heard Kevin Owens is coming back for the triple threat match with Cody, Gunther, and Sami Zayn. I don't know if he's going to interfere. I don't know if he's just going to come in and do something or somebody going to get involved. I don't know, but we'll find out. I'm hearing rumors about that as well. All right. Okay, Solo Sikoa and his family left. We just talked about that. The War Raiders got in the face of Damian Priest and R-Truth. And what happened was R-Truth said to the War Raiders, well, we're the champs here and all that. Well, War Raiders now are starting to get greedy. They can't accept the fact that they're AAA tag team champions. Good for them. All right. Good for them. But what they can't accept that they have to have more. I'm going to give them a round of applause for, for winning those titles in AAA. Good for them. I'm glad. I'm happy for them. They got their little niche. They're in AAA, like Ray Phoenix. He's got he's cruiserweight champion. The thing is, though, I'm waiting for somebody to take Dirty Dom's championship. I'm waiting for Chad Gable or somebody to do that because you know what? I've had enough of Dirty Dom. I'm tired of him. I don't want to put up with him anymore. I think the Judgment Day is getting old. They need to get out and get something else going on. All right. Okay. Sometimes factions, they play their own, what they call, they get too old and then something else needs to happen. All right. After a while, the Four Horsemen got old. They went with the NWO. You understand what I'm talking about, right? All right. So that happened tonight. There might be a challenge for a tag team match. I don't think it's going to happen at Night of Champions, but I think it will be on SmackDown maybe next week. We're going to have, or Raw or whatever. We're going to have a match with the SmackDown Tag Team Champions. Anyway, also tonight we had LA Knight. Was confronted by or talked to Solo Sikoa and wanted to join forces with him to try to go after the Bloodline or to go after his MFTs or to go after, also the Division. But Solo Sikoa said no, he wasn't going to join in with LA Knight. So LA Knight, like Solo, has no family either, has nobody on his side either. So we'll see what happens with LA Knight as we move forward. Move forward with that, and then we had, of course, at the end, Sami Zayn, Cody Rhodes, Gunther, and then Jey Uso got involved, and then Obafemi came out. And it was a big Donnybrook, big, huge mess. And my suspicions are for tomorrow afternoon. I'm sorry, 1 o'clock. Remember, 1 o'clock, not 2 o'clock. 1 o'clock on ESPN for the first hour, which again, I don't know why college softball is more important or pickleball or whatever some of these people do on there as well, so, all right. Yeah. So that's the story there. It'll be on for the first hour. And we're going to see the two King and Queen of the Ring matches. You got Io Sky versus Liv Morgan. And you got Obafemi versus Jey Uso. Ooh, Ralph, yeah, revolutionary, the visionary, yeah, yeah, you know it. I'm the revolutionary, the visionary of broadcasting, and one of these days I am the redheaded, or not the redheaded stepchild, the last good guy of broadcasting. Okay, I'm the last good guy of broadcasting that always gets dissed like Sami Zayn. I feel like Sami Zayn sometimes. You know what I mean? Can't get the big thing, I was watching a movie last week, The Rookie with Clint Eastwood and Charlie Sheen. Great movie, by the way. Clint Eastwood, as always, some great acting involved in this. But I was watching it last week, and he said I'm always coming up short, and it's true. I've come up short. How many times in broadcasting jobs gotten the shaft? And you broadcasting people, those of you who have disrespected me over the years, you will acknowledge me. All right. And I know about two people who will at some point acknowledge me. All right. And I'm not going to mention their names tonight because I don't feel like it. All right, I'll get too angry, and I'm in a pretty good mood tonight because I want you to watch my show, the Ralph Report Exposed. I want you to watch tonight. All right. So but all right. But anyway, I was I did the Ralph Report tonight. Exposed, and I exposed a squatter that's living in a Pittsburgh house. I gave the address out tonight. I will continue to expose this guy all over social media, and if he doesn't like it, that's too bad. Too bad. All right, I will expose you because you live in friends of my wife and I. You live in their house illegally. So you will be exposed. And I have reached out to Flash Sheldon. I have reached out to the government in Pittsburgh. I have reached out to some friends. And trust me when I tell you, I think you're going to be on your way out the damn door when I get done with you. Because you know why? You have been exposed. So check it out tonight on my YouTube channel. We're live here on YouTube, my two Facebook channels. We're also live on Twitch, Twitter X, and the Kick Network as well. And all shows are brought to you by my production company. If you're new to the show, RW Media Productions. So just to let you know about that. All right, we have Night of Champions this week, and we also have Saturday night's main event coming up in July. I believe it's July 23rd. It'll be 8 o'clock start time on Peacock. Might be on NBC because you know what? NBC don't have anything going on. NBA's done. Shows are all done for the summer. I'm not quite sure. I will get back to you on that. But Saturday night's main event will be at Madison Square Garden. So we'll see what the matches are. There's usually 4 matches involved in that whole scenario there. So But anyway, all right. Let's get the card for Night of Champions. We're going to go over the card. I went over it last week. We'll do it again. Undisputed WWE Championship. I already explained that to you. Cody Rhodes, Gunther, and Sami Zayn. Triple threat match. Triple threat rules. No disqualification. It has to be a pinfall or submission or whatever. All right. That's King of the Ring final. Obafemi versus Jey Uso. All right. I want your predictions tonight. Who are you taking? So we'll see what's going on there. Who are you taking in that match? I think Jey Uso is going to pull it off. I know it's a hard thing with Obafemi. All right, but I think Jey Uso might pull it off. And if he gets that title, the Bloodline will hold 2 titles, and then you need to get Jimmy and Jacob or Jacob. And if Solo comes back, hey, who knows? How about Jimmy Uso going up against Penta and getting the Intercontinental title? They might hold all the belts. Like Don Callis' family. He's got a bunch of belts. All right. And coming up, don't forget real soon, Forbidden Door. AEW has some good matches there. They got that, what is it? That's 12-man tag team. We got 6 on each side between Mark Briscoe and his team versus MJF's team. If Mark Briscoe wins, his team wins, he gets a shot at the title again against MJF. I wish they get MJF some different opponents. That's getting kind of old too. But we'll see what happens there. Forbidden Door. I may do something, may try to watch that if I can, but I don't feel like paying for pay-per-view on that. So anyway, Forbidden Door. AEW's put up some good pay-per-views lately as well. So I just want to let you know. Also, I want to congratulate the former Karrion Kross. He's now called Killer Kross. And then MLW, he's now the new champ. And guess who's going up against him, who has been? Matt Riddle. Everybody remembers Matt Riddle. He's been going up against him on that. TNA, they have new tag team champions, The Righteous. And their pay-per-view's coming up, Slammiversary, I believe it is. And they're coming up as well. So that's some of the wrestling updated stuff. I'm going to be doing some wrestling, Ralph Reports, wrestling editions. And who knows? Maybe we'll get Smoking Jim Frazier on, from our former Wrestle Talk days. All right. We'll get him to come on a few of them. All right. So Queen of the Ring and King of the Ring will both be on for the first hour free on ESPN. Then you got to go to the app. and that'll be Io Sky versus Liv Morgan and Obafemi versus Jey Uso. Steel cage match, grudge match, Seth Rollins versus Braun Breaker. Seth, I think, will win this match. He's been in cage matches before. I think he's going to win. He wants to take out the whole Vision. All right, he's pretty much done that. All right, so I think he needs and if he takes him up by himself, then good for him. All right, and then you have Jade Cargill versus Tiffany Stratton, and you also have Trick Williams versus Ricky Saints, and that was a pretty interesting confrontation tonight. Turned out being pretty funny because I enjoyed how Trick Williams got a little taste of what Ricky Saints is all about. Trick Williams better be careful. Ricky Saints is a good wrestler. When he was Ricky Starks in AEW, all right. You got Ethan Page up, from AEW. There you got Royce Keys, who used to be Powerhouse Hobbs. So we'll see where Royce Keys goes, what they do with him. All right. I don't think they have a plan. And what bothers me is they make a plan for a wrestler, and all of a sudden they scrap it as soon as he loses one match. You see, and so we'll see what happens there as we go along. So Night of Champions, Night of Champions tomorrow, 1:00. I will be on 15 minutes afterwards for a Ralph Report Wrestling Edition, Night of Champions post show. All right. So there you are. Who knows? Maybe I'll see if Pensman will join me, for that show tomorrow afternoon. Maybe I'll see if I can get Smoking Jim Frazier on as well. I'll reach out to him. All right. My name is Ralph Williams. I am the revolutionary, the visionary of media, and I also will expose you. So don't forget to tune into the Ralph Report. The Ralph Report edition, where I expose everybody. Oh, there we go. No, never mind. Forget that. All right. Well, we're gonna have to go off the air tonight without everything because something happened here and I got locked up. I don't know why, but we'll get that going. Nope, it's not moving. Yeah, well, who cares? All right. Well, we're gonna have to sign off with this because I was gonna make some announcements tonight, which I still will, even though I don't have the banners for them. 7 a.m. tomorrow morning and every Saturday morning. Don't forget, 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. 93.5 The Beach, the Ralph Williams Show. Also in the Delmarva region here, 50,000 watts, 93.5 The Beach. Lots to talk about. 8 a.m. to 9 a.m., 12:50 a.m. The Answer up in Pittsburgh, 92.5 on the FM dial, and theanswerpgh.com. The Ralph Williams Show. And we have my guest will be Jim Allenbogen. All right, will be my guest for the show, and then we have a lot to talk about as well. Also, email day. Stupid never takes a vacation. Wait to hear this one, and then also not only just stupid never takes a vacation, but also shame on you. All right. Also, 10:00 a.m. On the Saturday Sports Blast with me, Ralph Williams, Brian Pettit, and with me, Ralph Williams, Pensman Sports, Brian Pettit, Leo Haggerty, tomorrow morning, 10 a.m., live here on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, Twitter X, and the Kick Network. We are going to talk about the NHL draft, which was tonight. We're going to break down all the teams, who they drafted, what our thoughts are on them, break down some of these things, talk a little bit about the NBA draft from last week that's still kind of in everybody's thought process, and get you ready for the NFL season, because guess what? Next Saturday on the Sports Blast show, Saturday Sports Blast, we're going to talk about new coaches in the NFL, what we think could happen. I mean, is Clint Kubiak going to be a good coach? We're going to break them all down. And then we're going to give our predictions as to how they're going to do throughout the season, or what we think, preliminary reports and all that stuff. So also, don't forget at 2 to 3 p.m., 12:50 a.m. The Answer, 92.5 on the FM dial, and theanswerpgh.com. The Sports Corner radio show with me, Ralph Williams, your visionary, your revolutionary, and Smoking Jim Frazier, Claudia Rosano, Luther Dupree. We are going to talk about the We have Ray Fittipaldo coming on to talk about the Steelers. And then we have Coach Leroy Johnson will join us in the third segment to talk about the Amani Christian School high school football team. Great school, great football team in the Pittsburgh area as well. So, there we go. Fine. It says, oh, yeah. Okay, there we go. All right. So anyway, also, don't forget Sunday morning, 10 a.m. to 11 a.m., The Ralph Williams Show with my co-host, Tony Moreno, and my guest, Alex Kaminsky, Kazeski, who is the reporter for the Tribune Review. And we're going to talk about the waterfront in Homestead. They have changed the bus lanes at the waterfront. They're on did some moving around. We'll talk about that. That's coming up on Sunday with me, Ralph Williams, Tony Moreno. Lots to talk about. And we'll be getting into that as well. And we got some a special announcement for you on Sunday as well. So so make sure you tune in to the Ralph Williams Show on 1250 AM The Answer, 92.5 on FM down theanswerpgh.com. Until next time, until tomorrow, after Night of Champions, 15 minutes after Night of Champions, for a Night of Champions post show. My name is Ralph Williams. I am the revolutionary, the visionary. And until next time, have yourself a great one, and please, by all means, be safe.